Oops. Well, I didn't mean to move the camera right off the bat, but hello. Uh, Welcome to update 1 of the new cafe. I'm not really sure how to format these videos yet, because I do want an update video every time I release an update. But also, I also want people to just go in the world and check it out. So I'm a little back and forth of be like, should I show them or just have them experience? But I'm sure the people who want to see the stuff will press play on the video, and the people who want to just see the world will go see the world. So let's start with the objectives this time around. Like the first update, or the first update 0, that's what it's called. We got a few little, honestly mundane objectives to complete. Nothing too big. Not too different from last time, just mostly moving stuff from one place to the other. But last time you helped move this lumber over here, and so it's stacked nicely over here. And the first objective is to take a few pieces of these lumber and build a bridge. I won't show you the built bridge because, well, you got to build it yourself. So yeah, you take a few pieces of, bring it here, and then once you got that bridge, you can cross over. And you can bring the rest of the lumber back here. And then, as with last time, you get to water the now not so much of a sapling. Still kind of a sapling, and it's going to be a big tree. But as you can see, your watering from last time has helped it grow. So there it is. Those are your objectives. Not too much to do. But yeah, let's move on to the changes I made. I probably won't go through all the changes I've made, but we'll talk about the biggest one, the one I'm most proud of, and that is, as you can see, there's grass now. Grass and flowers, which, I mean, there was grass and flowers before, so that's technically not new the way I described it. I mean, we had this before, and this is fine. But yeah, as you can see, I've scattered some meshes to make some swaying flowers and grass. The original cafe actually had tall grass. I don't think I made it across the whole cafe, but a large amount of it had like some pretty dense tall grass, and I had to scrap it. I really wanted the tall grass in the cafe. I thought it looked really nice with the very simplistic ground that I had in the original. But at the time, I had deemed the grass that I had placed, along with the like 2,000 individual leaves that I placed by hand on the tree, which looked so good. I don't think I have any archived versions of that. I wish I could show it because it looked really good. I think the tree as is looks nice, but when I had those individual leaves placed, it was great. But anyway, those two things got scrapped together because they were both using the same shader, and at the time I had deemed that shader too expensive to actually to use in that capacity. It seemed to not perform well, and so I moved on. I did want the leaves on the tree to sway, so I came up with a very janky system to make that happen. But yeah, I really wanted to try tackling that problem this time around, and I would say I'm successful. It doesn't have no performance loss, but there is options to turn it off if it's too laggy for you. It's not too laggy for me, which my computer's not very happy about things, so I think that's a good sign. But yeah, it's here, and I won't go into too much detail about what made what solved the issue. I mean, so the first thing is I'm writing my own shaders now. I had to depend on what other people had before and hope that it would work. So I can now fine tune everything. I can optimize things a little bit if I want to. But the other thing is I didn't realize at the time is that Unity prefers that if you've got a bunch of little pieces of grass, that they all be a part of one mesh. These are all split into big chunks, but basically the thing I tried to do before, same with the leaves, is every single, like, every leaf on the tree and every, like, clump of grass was its own object. And I thought that would be better because in video games, and the Unity engine is not an exclusion, is when you, like, turn your camera, everything that's off the side of the camera stops being rendered. And I thought, well, if there's smaller objects, that means there's more things to stop rendering, because, like, as is right now, I think this whole section is one object. And if I only cover up half the object is still technically there. It's not occluded until I fully take it off camera, and then it is. So I thought at the time that the different clumps of grass would, like, having smaller pieces would be better, but as it turns out, it's way better to have much bigger meshes. So that's how I solve that issue. If you're trying to do something similar, there you go. Try that out. I feel really silly now because I could have totally had it done in the original cafe, but not a big deal. That's why we're making a new one. But yeah, that's probably the biggest change. I'm really happy with it. I think it looks really nice. I wasn't sure that it was going to look nice. I do like the simplistic look. Yeah, I can turn it off real quick just to have a comparison. I don't really know why unmaximizing this window is so laggy. There we go. And it's somewhere in here. There we go. So this is it with it on, and that's with it off. I think this looks nice on its own as well. And once again, you have a few options, and I'll get to the spawn, but you can turn it off if you want to, if you prefer this look. But yeah, I think it turned out really well. I'm really happy with that. Yeah, other changes, obviously, the things you did in the first update, in the first release, in update 0. Like I said, the lumber's here, the crates are over here, the sapling's grown, and you know, those changes are there. The other thing is we've got I did a lot more terrain work aside from the grass stuff this time around. So we've got a big path going around the back here, and we've got this this area here which will be used for something. I haven't actually decided if that something is what I want, but I'm gonna have to build it before I decide. So you get that lumber over here so we can see if we like what we build with it. But yeah, just a little bit more work. The water here is a little bit deeper, which I had a reason for doing that. We'll see if I remember that reason in the future. Yeah, it's just the base of the terrain is much more complete. It will need to be changed a little bit in the future, especially if I build the thing back here. And probably next update. I mean, I'm not going to make any promises for what's coming in the next update and whatnot, but I want to start actually getting the sides of the terrain done. But yeah, so that's you know, all the big stuff in the main cafe area. It's not a cafe, it's an island. Anyway, let's head over to Spawn, which Spawn was not here before, and you will hopefully not be able to see Spawn when you're actually out in the world. I worked really hard to make that happen. But Spawn used to be like way up there, and there were some issues with that, so Spawn is here now. You don't actually need to know that, but you can, like, jump on these pieces of lumber as you're and pick it up as you're jumping, and continuously do that and get really high up in the air. And I think it's a fun game because you won't be able to see Spawn here. I think it's a fun game to try to line it up and try to make it all the way over here with the lumber. It's I actually haven't made it. I've made it like right here before. I think it's it's such a dumb thing, but I think it's a lot of fun. So there you go. You know where Spawn is. Make it happen. Anyway, this is the spawn room once again. There are minor changes here. Like I quickly added a frame to the mirror, which is very simple. And as you can see here, the settings for the grass are here. Your options are either turning it off or have it on with the movement, or you can have it on without the movement, which does help a little bit. I get like a few frames per second difference, so it might be enough that you still have the appearance of the goodness, but just a little bit better performing. But yeah, but the major things is I'll start on this wall. As you can see here, we've got a wall for my patrons. 5 of you so far, as you can see, one anonymous, have decided to throw me some money for making the cafe, and I'm super appreciative. And so all of you, minus the one anonymous, which anonymous person, if you want this on the wall, just tell me. Everyone gets their own little picture. I think it looks really nice. I really wanted to thank the people who've done that. So here this is. If you want your head on the wall, that you know how to do it. But we've also got this over here, which is screenshots from Update 0. This is not all the screenshots from Update 0, but I wanted to make sure that a few of you have sent like 3 or 4 or 5 screenshots. I didn't want like 5 screenshots of one person up here and then like one of everyone else. But yeah, if this update releases and you took screenshots from Update 0 and they didn't make it onto the wall, just go ahead and still send it to me. Just say, hey, this was Update 0, and I didn't get it in time. It's totally fine. I'll put it up here. It's not a big deal. We're gonna have to move this to a different wall anyway eventually, because Update 1 is gonna have its own screenshots. Once again, you complete these objectives, you take whatever screenshot you like. It doesn't need to be in front of this wall, even though I do kind of like the people posing in front of this. I think that's really cool. But like you can see all these here, these are all people who did complete the objectives, but obviously these aren't all like, there's no proof here that they completed the objectives. I just take a screenshot you like and send it on in. So yeah, there's that. And there will be Update 1 screenshots there in the future. I'm trying to think, is there anything else in the spawn room? I think that's about it for the spawn room, and that's pretty much it for the update. Oh, there's one more thing actually. Let me get down here. Let me get down here and click on this and actually, you know what? There's a minor thing that I don't need to mention, but I changed environment lighting a little bit, and I can kind of show the difference here. I wasn't gonna do it this way initially because it didn't look good initially, but this is what it looked like in the previous update, and this is what it looks like now. Just a little bit more ambient lighting, and I think it looks nicer overall. But yeah, so as you may end up seeing here when I bring this up, there's a moon. Yes, there's a moon. Yeah, so there's a moon added. Worked really hard to get that there, and it's, as you'll see, it's not textured or anything. It's pretty much just a sphere. It is a stylized sphere. It's you know, I colored it and everything. But yeah, there's a moon now. I had a lot of issues. I didn't want the moon to be the exact opposite side of the sun, but due to limitations within VRChat, that's the way I have to do it. But the nice thing about that is you can tell what time of night it is based off the position of the moon. So if it's in the middle of the sky, you know, okay, we're halfway through the night. So there is a benefit to it, and I'll keep it that way. And I'd like to do more with the moon in the future if I can, but I didn't want to spend too much time on it on this update. I just wanted to get it out. Something to note as well, and I don't want to break anyone's immersion here, but this cool skybox with the stars in the sky, just about everything else is synced, but this isn't, and that's just due to the, once again, a limitation of VRChat. I can't really access that in the way I would like to. I can't sync this part of the skybox, so if you're out star viewing with friends, you may not be looking at the same stars, and I do apologize for that. I wish I could change it. But yeah, that's about it. You'll see that when it first becomes nighttime, and this is actually brighter than it should be, because I have a reflection probe that isn't updating. Hold on, let me turn that off. Boop. Yeah, there we go. You'll see that at the very beginning of night, it's very dark. It does get brighter after not much time. But there were reasons I had to do this. They're just technical reasons. I think it looks really cool, and once again, it does become brighter after not much time. But just keep that in mind. It's brighter up near the plant here. So if it just hits nighttime and you need to go towards the plant, or you could go to the spawn room. That's always lit up. Yeah, I think that's everything for as far as like major changes and stuff to update 1. Definitely go check it out. Another thing is someone was asking, and they asked with very good timing. They asked, hey, is there supposed to be sound in the new cafe? And there will be sound. I want to assure you that just about everything that was in the original cafe to some degree will be in the new one, and then some. So I had background music just quietly playing in the background. That's why it's background music. That will be here. That's probably going to be one of the last things I add. I don't know yet. I haven't decided yet if I want to just take the old background music and slap it on there, or if I want to modify it slightly or try making new ones. I haven't decided that, but like I said, that's for me, sound is usually a later part of the process. That's just kind of the workflow I do, which at times can be a bad thing, but for the purposes of this, that's definitely going to be one of the last things I add. But I definitely recommend. So last night I was testing the world, and I was in here. I was standing up here, and I was looking up at the sky, and I was like, this would be a good moment to put on some background music just outside of VRChat and see what feels right. And I really recommend that. Like, before I get music in, I recommend, like, when you're in here, just put something on in the background. Like, it really does change the mood quite a bit. And I put on some just like nice relaxing music, and it really did transform the whole feel. I feel like before we actually get the cafe in here and all that, I'm always afraid that there's not much reason to actually go into this world. But I felt like, at least in that moment, I made something really nice and relaxing. So that's my recommendation. Try it with music. Try our new cafe with music added on your own. Yeah. It's a good time. I think I should probably wrap up this update video. I could probably ramble on this whole thing for a while, but yeah, get in there, get those objectives done. If you take a screenshot you like, send it in. Say, hey, update 1, here we go, and you'll be featured as part of the update 1 wall. And even if not, even if you don't want to be featured as like, hey, I was in update 1, if you have some screenshots you like, go ahead and send them in. As with the old cafe, I will be picking and choosing screenshots I really like and putting them up on the wall. So definitely don't want anything different here. So yeah, I'm finally gonna end this video. Someone stop me. It needs to be ended. Yes, this is the end of the video. Okay. I hope everyone has a good time. Thank you for visiting, and I'll see you in the next update.